Stefan Bradley here from Grizzly Functional Training, and today we're talking creatine versus pre-workout. Alright, there really is a supplement for everything these days, whether you're just supplementing something that you're lacking in your diet or that you're a little bit low on, to more superficial things like fat burners and muscle growth. But there's two supplements that tend to confuse the heck out of people, and that's pre-workout and creatine. What does pre-workout do, and what even is creatine? Pre-workout is pretty straightforward. It usually comes in a powdered form that you add to water and you drink before your workout. Pre-workouts claim to improve workout performance, and they're pretty much everywhere, and honestly, they're pretty tricky to regulate. Almost every supplement brand has its own pre-workout, and it's hard to tell which ones are actually doing what they're saying they're doing and which ones are just cashing in on a buzzword. A simple piece of advice for anybody with pre-workout, and it goes the same with almost any product, is just read the label first. If there are ingredients in there you don't understand, do you really want to put it in your body? On that note, this isn't a pre-workout bash, but let's have a look at some of the main ingredients in pre-workout. Before we dive into this today though, make sure you jump down into the description and click the link so that you can head over to grizzlyfunctional.com and have a crack at my free quiz. It's going to tell you exactly which piece of gym equipment is best for you and your fitness goals. And while you're down there, why not get your free copy of my ebook, Train Wherever the You Want. Everything you need to know about training where you want. And as always, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. Your support helps channels like mine grow. Alright, so let's look at some of the main ingredients in most pre-workouts. Now look, most people don't realize that creatine is one of the main ingredients in most pre-workouts. So before I unpack that too much, because we're going to go on to it later, let's move on to a few of the other main ingredients. Nitric oxide. Nitric oxide has been shown to reduce muscle soreness, and it plays a role in a lot of cell processes like widening blood vessels. Improved blood flow leads to more nutrient and oxygen delivery to your muscles. And lastly, caffeine. We all know the effects of caffeine, right? Alright, so on that note, and again, this isn't a pre-workout bash because I have used pre-workouts on and off in the past, but a shot of espresso was fine for me. One of the main ingredients with pre-workout is caffeine, so for me, I'm just going to go straight to the source. I'm getting a lot of other stuff that is helping with my muscle soreness and stuff like that anyway, and I take creatine as well, so pre-workout for me isn't super necessary, but look, this isn't me knocking that. It is, for a lot of people, it is what gives them that pep to get going, and as well, they don't really like drinking coffee, so be it. The choice is yours. Alright, let's take a deep dive into creatine. So creatine is actually the most researched supplement out there and is regarded as probably one of the safest. Creatine is something that your body naturally produces anyway. We're just not producing enough of it to do what we're kind of wanting from it now, if that makes sense. Creatine improves hydration in muscle cells, making them more effective in carrying out their vital processes like muscle protein synthesis. It also improves strength, power, and maximizes muscles' glycogen so they can get more out of a workout. The main benefit with creatine in terms of muscle growth and I suppose performance and energy levels is what it's doing at a very tiny level in helping out with ATP. So ATP, Adenosine Triphosphate, is what our muscles use for energy. The problem with it is your muscles uses ATP stores really quickly, like millisecond quickly. So after your body uses the ATP, what happens is it then becomes ADP, Adenosine Diphosphate. So creatine, once it's in our body converts that to creatine phosphate. So what's happening is creatine is essentially letting your body recycle its ATP stores. It's adding phosphate back into the ADP, so it's becoming ATP again. In a nutshell, and for those of you who don't want to get too sciencey with it, creatine is recycling your energy stores, your ATP stores, so that you can perform for longer during a workout, so that you can get more out of a workout. Taking the recommended 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily has been shown to increase lean muscle mass. The first way it does this is by increasing energy production. Supplementing creatine increases your body's phosphocreatine levels, which are used to produce adenosine triphosphate. ATP is the most basic form of energy in your body's cells. ATP energy is vital to maximum power and strength-based activities. Creatine can help maintain muscle during a workout by reducing muscle breakdown. It also lets you push harder and get more out of a workout, which in turn tells your body to build more muscle. Creatine basically gives you more go for an intense workout and lets you push through muscle fatigue, which leads to building muscle. All right, so do we need creatine to build muscle? So while creatine has been proven to improve physical performance in resistance training, the short answer is no. While it is a very effective tool, you don't actually need creatine supplementation to build muscle. But keeping your creatine stores full has shown better results than not using creatine supplements. So how should we be taking creatine? What should we be doing? How should we be adding that back into our diet? Basically, with creatine, what most experts recommend is you go through a loading phase of taking about 20 grams of creatine every day for the first week. What this is doing is saturating your muscles with the creatine, and then from then on you want to take 3 to 5 grams per day while you're on your creatine cycle. Now there's lots of mixed information about the best way you should and shouldn't do this, but most people recommend you do it in cycles. So you'll go on for say 6 to 8 weeks and then stop for a little bit and then restart again. And look, don't stress about over consuming creatine, because your body can only store what it can store. Once you take too much, you're essentially just pissing the rest out, I suppose. Your body's got limited stores for creatine. What we're doing by supplementing it is making sure that we're keeping our stores full all the time. Our body will naturally produce about 1 to 2 grams per day, but you'll typically use 1 to 2 grams per day as well. So by keeping our stores full, we get more benefits from the creatine. All right, so now that we've looked at whether or not creatine is necessary, is pre-workout necessary? Look, out of all the supplements you could be taking, regardless of your fitness level, pre-workout is probably the least necessary. Like I said at the start, I prefer to just have a cup of coffee, but in saying that, like if I get the chance, like today, it worked good for me to have a workout in the middle of the day. So by the time I rode my bike to the gym, I was ready to go. I put on some loud, angry music. I don't always need that, but like if you need that to get going, then by all means take it. But honestly, it's the least necessary. All right, before we start looking at whether things like pre-workout are gonna make you lift more, quickly jump down, get your free copy of my ebook, Train Wherever the You Want. Get the link ready so you can head over to grizzlyfunctional.com and have a crack at my free quiz and find out which piece of gym equipment is best for you. All right, pre-workout will definitely make you more focused. Whether or not that's gonna help you lift more is unlikely. You can't rule out the placebo effect. Some people swear by pre-workouts and getting them that extra push over the line, getting that extra last little bit on their deadlift. But really, I mean, it's up to you. Creatine, though, through studies, has been proven to help people get a little bit more. Like I said, it does help you push longer in a workout, and I definitely notice the difference. Look, one thing I've found, and I'm not claiming to be a scientist here, it could be a bit of a placebo effect, but when I am supplementing with creatine, I definitely notice that I can get more out of a workout. I definitely notice my workouts, I push a lot harder, I get more sets in than maybe I was a few weeks ago. I do find though that muscle soreness tends to be a bit more a few days after. My personal experience is DOMS, your delayed onset muscle soreness, do tend to hit a little bit harder when you're supplementing with creatine. And maybe that's because you're not feeling the effects as much during the workout, say, and so you do push that little bit harder, and then a few days later your body's like, dude, why did you do this to me? So that's just my personal experience. There's probably plenty of people out there that would argue with that, so look out for them in the comments. Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. Look, creatine is a very beneficial supplement that I would recommend anybody take, regardless of your fitness levels, even your goals. I suppose it's definitely worth taking, especially if you're looking to gain some muscle. I definitely would encourage you to use creatine. Pre-workout, up to you. Again, I'm not here to bash pre-workout. I just don't personally find any benefit from it. The most I've ever got was an itchy face, and I don't need to drink something for an itchy face. It's not something I'm chasing. So there we go. That's all I've got for you. I'll pop a link down in the description for creatine I would recommend you giving a go. It's the stuff I use, so head on down there and grab yourself some of that. Get your free copy of my ebook, Train Wherever the F You Want. Have a crack at my free quiz. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe, jump in the comments and let us know what you think of the video. Let us know if there's another supplement you want to know about. Let us know what you want to know more of. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming over to my house. See you on the next one.